Hello Maya, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Just enjoying the anticipation for this first question. How are things going with you?
My name is Mohammed Hashir Rehan and I am student of Rehan School Quetta campus. Today my topic of conversation with you is about take it easy. My first question is what does the phrase take it easy mean?
That's a great one to start with. When someone says take it easy, they're usually telling you to relax and not let the stress of a situation get to you. It's like a gentle reminder to slow down, breathe, and stop worrying so much about whatever is causing pressure. Depending on how it's used, it can mean a few different things. If someone says it while you're feeling overwhelmed or angry, they're essentially saying, calm down, or don't let this get you worked up. It's a way of encouraging a person to find their center again and approach things with a more relaxed mindset. Then there's the way people use it as a farewell. When you're leaving a friend and you say, take it easy, you aren't necessarily telling them to go nap. You're wishing them a peaceful time until you see them again. It's a warm, casual way of saying, I hope your day stays low stress and pleasant. In a broader sense, taking it easy is almost like a philosophy for life. It's about balance. It doesn't mean being lazy or ignoring your responsibilities, but rather choosing not to let those responsibilities consume your entire peace of mind. For a student, for example, it might mean taking a break after a long study session to recharge so that when they go back to the books, they can actually focus. It's the idea that you'll be more productive and happier if you give yourself permission to rest. It's a phrase rooted in kindness and empathy because it acknowledges that life can be hectic and it offers a moment of relief. It's a way of saying that your well being is more important than the rush of the moment.
When do people usually say take it easy?
People usually pull out take it easy in a few specific scenarios, and the meaning shifts a bit depending on the moment. The most common time you'll hear it is as a casual goodbye instead of a formal farewell. Friends or colleagues will say it as they're walking away. In that context, it's a friendly wish for the other person to have a stress free rest of their day. It's like saying, I hope nothing crazy happens to you until we talk again. And then you have the de escalation moment. If someone is visibly stressed, pacing around, or getting really worked up about a mistake, a friend might step in and say, whoa, take it easy. Here, it's a tool for calming someone down. It's a way of suggesting that the problem isn't as big as it feels right now, and that it's okay to step back and breathe before reacting. It also pops up when someone is recovering from something, like if a friend has been sick or just finished a really grueling exam week. You might tell them to take it easy for a few days. In this case, it's a piece of advice meaning don't push yourself too hard. It's an encouragement to prioritize rest and recovery over productivity. Finally, you'll hear it when people are trying to avoid a conflict. If a conversation is getting a little too heated or an argument is starting to brew, saying, let's just take it easy, is a way to signal that it's time to lower the tension and handle things more calmly. It's really a versatile phrase because it always centers on the idea of reducing pressure, whether that pressure is emotional, physical, or just the general chaos of a busy day.
Is take it easy a formal or informal expression?
It's definitely on the informal side of things. You wouldn't typically use it in a very formal setting, like in a legal document or a serious presentation to a board of directors. In those cases, you'd probably use phrases like, please remain calm, or I wish you a pleasant afternoon. But in the real world, with friends, family, coworkers you get along with, or even a teacher you have a friendly relationship with, it's perfect. It's designed to be relaxed, which is exactly what the phrase is telling the other person to do. Using formal language to tell someone to relax can actually feel a bit stiff and might not have the same calming effect. The beauty of it is that it bridges the gap between being polite and being casual. It's not slang, so it doesn't sound like you're trying too hard to be cool, but it's not so formal that it feels cold. It's just a warm human way to connect with someone and let them know that it's okay to let go of the stress for a moment.
How can we use this word take it easy in daily conversation?
Since it's such a versatile phrase, you can slot it into your day in a few different ways, depending on what you're trying to achieve. First, you can use it as a smooth way to end a conversation. Imagine you're finishing a chat with a friend or a classmate and you're about to head home. Instead of just saying bye, you can say, "All right, I'm heading out. Take it easy." It adds a layer of kindness, showing that you want them to have a peaceful time after you leave. Then there's the supportive use. Let's say you see a friend who is really stressing out over a project, or maybe they're panicking about a deadline. You could put a hand on their shoulder and say, "Hey, take it easy. We'll figure this out together." In this case, you're using the phrase to provide emotional support and to help them lower their anxiety level. You can also use it when you're talking about your own plans. If someone asks what you're doing over the weekend and you don't have anything big scheduled, you can say, "I think I'm just going to take it easy this weekend." This tells the other person that you're planning to rest, recharge, and avoid any high stress activities. Lastly, you can use it to gently correct someone's energy. Someone is rushing you or getting a bit too intense about a small detail, a calm, take it easy, can act as a signal for them to slow down and match your more relaxed pace. It's all about the tone of voice you use. You say it with a smile and a soft voice, it's a warm wish. If you say it firmly but kindly, it's a way to bring peace to a chaotic moment.
Where did the phrase take it easy come from?
Let me look into that for you. It's one of those phrases that feels like it's always been around, but it actually started appearing in English back in the early 19th century. It's rooted in an old French word for being comfortable or free from discomfort, and it eventually evolved to mean living with moderation or simplicity. The first time it was ever printed in a book was in a novel called The Gypsy in 1835. It started out in the UK and then traveled over to America, where it became the common way to tell someone to relax that we know today. It's wild how a simple word for comfort turned into a whole philosophy of slowing down.
Why do you think this expression become popular?
I think it became popular because the world has always had a way of feeling chaotic. No matter the century, people have always felt the pressure to perform, to rush, or to handle things they can't control. When a phrase like take it easy comes along, it gives people a simple, socially acceptable way to give themselves and others permission to stop for a second. It's a verbal pressure release valve. Plus, it's such a low friction way to show empathy. Telling someone, "I understand you're stressed," is a big conversation, but saying "take it easy" is a quick, warm gesture that says the same thing without making it a big deal. It's basically a shortcut for kindness.
Is there a difference between take it easy and relax?
They're definitely cousins, but they have different energies. When you tell someone to relax, it's often a direct reaction to a specific state of tension. It's like saying, "Your muscles are tight, your mind is racing, stop it." Depending on your tone, relax can sometimes actually feel a bit demanding, like you're giving an order to someone who is already stressed, which can occasionally make them more stressed. Take it easy, on the other hand, feels more like an invitation or a suggestion. It's less about the immediate physical act of relaxing and more about the overall approach to a situation. It's a gentler way of saying you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself. There's also the usage difference. You wouldn't really say relax as a goodbye to a friend when they leave your house. That would sound very strange. But take it easy is the perfect casual farewell. One is about changing your current state, while the other is more about a general vibe of peace and moderation.
Can you give me example of some sentences that use this phrase take it easy?
I can definitely do that. Since we talked about the different ways it's used, I'll give you a few examples for each scenario. First, for that casual goodbye, you could say, "It was great catching up with you. I've got to run, but take it easy until next time." It's just a nice, low pressure way to end a chat. Then, if you're trying to help a friend who's panicking, you might say, "Hey, I know this exam feels like a huge deal, but take it easy. You've studied hard and you're going to be just fine." Here, it's more about calming their nerves. If you're talking about your own downtime, you could tell someone, "I've had such a long week at school, so I'm just going to spend my Sunday taking it easy with a good book and some music." This shows you're prioritizing your own peace. And finally, if someone is rushing you or getting a bit too intense, you could say, "Whoa, take it easy. We still have plenty of time to get there. So there's no need to hurry." It really all comes down to that feeling of letting the pressure go.
Okay, Maya, nice
Do you
talking
feel
with
like
you.
I'm not quite sure what you mean by stop him with you? Could you explain that a bit more for me?
Maya, bye bye.
Bye bye. It was really wonderful talking with you today. Take it easy.